We're here chatting a very long distance with a young piano phenom. His name is Alexander Malofeev, and he's coming back to Buffalo. For those of you who are lucky enough to see him last September in a recital at Kleinhans Music Hall, well, he's coming back to play a big piano concerto with JoAnn Falletta and the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. Two opportunities to hear that: Friday morning, March 4th, and Saturday evening, March 5th. Alexander, hello.
Hello, Peter. Great
So,
to speak with you.
right now, you're at home in Moscow?
Yeah, right now I'm at home. I arrived only yesterday from Holland. I had a recital, and one day after tomorrow, I'll go to Buffalo to rehearse my concerto.
Okay. And I don't want to forget, you're doing more than just performing with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra. You're going to put on a master class
Yeah,
for
I did a
students.
master class in a school and a small solo concert recital. So I think it will be a great experience to cooperate with American students, pianist musicians. Yeah, really excited.
And we'll put the details of that in the text right underneath when we post this interview on WNED.org. So, so many things to ask you. Well, first off, you're going to turn 21 in October. So in the United States, turning 21 is a big deal because then you can drink alcohol legally in bars. Is 21 a big deal in Russia?
Not so much, because you can drink from 18.
Oh, okay. That's how it used to be here.
Yeah, I think I'm not really like to celebrate birthdays, but yeah, I've been Lutheran during my birthday.
Okay. Now, well, in advance, happy birthday. So right now you're at home. So who do you live with? Do you have brothers and sisters?
I still live with my family, with my parents and my smaller brother. I also have a sister who is older, and she lives alone. Yeah, I hope to move soon. So I really need a place to practice alone. It was quite difficult to share a room with all the family because our flat is not very big. So I think in the future I will move to another one.
So obviously you have a piano at home, but a small piano?
No, I have a small Yamaha, but it is small grand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's presented by Yamaha company, and
right.
It's more than a half of our biggest room. So, but I'm happy with it. Of course, it's this clavier. If you know what is it, it's a piano which you can turn on, and it will be electronical. But if it is turned off, it is acoustic normal piano. So it's great for my neighbors who are very angry for the last 10 years.
So if you turn it off, you can listen to yourself with earphones, and it's quiet.
Yeah, it can be normal piano and it can be electronical.
That's a great invention. So, and you are sponsored by the Yamaha Piano Company, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's a present, a gift. That was a real surprise for me, and I'm happy to be a Yamaha artist.
So one big thing that everyone knows about you is that you won first prize at the Tchaikovsky Competition for Young Musicians, which is part of the overall Tchaikovsky Competition. Now, that doesn't happen every year. They have a violin competition, and they have a piano competition, and maybe other competitions. I don't know. How often do they have the young musician competition?
Well, now all the schedules are ruined, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it was probably every 3 years, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in Moscow, in a great hall of Moscow Conservatory. So it was a big decision for me, and well, it was one of the most memorizing day of my childhood.
And folks who want to enjoy Alexander's playing can go to YouTube, and you have very many YouTubes. One of which, it was filmed at that very conservatory, so folks can see what that looks like.
Yeah.
The one YouTube I did want to ask you about is very exciting. You recorded the very piano concerto number 3 by Prokofiev that you're going to play when you come to Buffalo. You recorded it with Yannick Nézet-Séguin. And who was the orchestra, and where were you when you played that?
It was maybe 2019. It was a Philadelphia Orchestra and Yannick, and it was in China. The Philadelphia Orchestra was on tour, and it was a final concert of a China piano competition. And it was really amazing. It was fun, the rehearsal. They were so fast, so amazing. Yeah, really, really great. Actually, Prokofiev Third is probably the most popular concerto in my repertoire. I played it so many times. The first time when I was 13, and after Buffalo, I will go to Montreal with the Montreal Symphonique and Michael Tilson Thomas. Where I will play it as well.
Well, it's true. When you look through your biography, you have played with a lot of very famous conductors. Valery Gergiev, MTT, as we call him, Yannick Nézet-Séguin, the list goes on and on. So how old were you when you started touring?
Maybe 11 or 12. When I started to win some competition, and I won Denis Matsuev competition when I was 11 in Astana in Kazakhstan. And only half a year after that, Valery Gergiev invited me to perform in Mariinsky Theater. Of course, I was a bit on shock because that doesn't happen with every musician.
Yeah.
Especially when you are 12. But yeah, after that, I played with so many great musicians, and you always learn with them. It's still a process. So even if you play the same concerto, it's always different.
True. Can you remember anything that you may have learned from Yannick Nézet-Séguin or MTT or Valery Gergiev or anyone? Any life tips or piano tips?
Actually, what I can say about Yannick, the performance was, and the rehearsal was so easy. I never remembered so easy rehearsal. I mean, we didn't need to repeat anything because everything was so great, just the eyes connection, and that's all. About Valery Gergiev, there is probably the same. The first time I played with him, I was 12, and I played Saint-Saëns' second piano concerto. And I just played my cadenza in the beginning of the concerto, and then he began and said, "Oh, that's great, you played great." And after that, we started with the third movement, and I played a couple of bars, and said, "Oh, yeah, you played it as well." And after that, "Oh, yeah, that's all. We are finished." And after that, the concert, it was he doesn't need a rehearsal, and he gave that skill to me, and that's really important.
Well, again, I encourage everyone to go to YouTube and look at your performance of the Prokofiev Piano Concerto No. 3 with Yannick Nézet-Séguin and the Philadelphia Orchestra. And I just learned where it was in China. It's phenomenal because as wonderful as live concerts are and will be when you come to Buffalo, you can't see your hands the way you can when you go in close with the camera. It's stunning. So for folks who haven't seen it yet or have not heard or don't remember the Prokofiev Piano Concerto No. 3, it is fast. I mean, first movements are supposed to be fast. Second movements are supposed to be slow, but with this one, they're fast. And everything is fast, fast, fast. So how do you practice those very difficult passages? What do you play slowly, or do you take 2 notes at a time and then 3? What's your technique for learning these difficult works?
Actually, Prokofiev short is not that hard as it
no,
sounds. Yeah.
Maybe for you, it's not
that
hard.
Maybe I played it so many times, but Actually, when you had a great teacher, your hands can play any passages themselves. So it's not about speed. It's not about to play faster. It's about the music, of course, and that's probably the brightest Prokofiev concerto. Not as tragic as the second one, uh, but I think my favorite Prokofiev concerto because that's not really often thing, but you really enjoy when you perform it. It's like a great celebration every time, and I think we'll do it in Buffalo really amazing.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's and like you, that concerto is also, coming back to America. Um, just like the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto No. 1 was premiered in Boston, the Prokofia was premiered in Chicago. And
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Prokofiev, who premiered it, said, this is what I heard. He said, if I had known how often I was going to have to play this, I would have made it a lot easier to play.
Yeah, yeah, I love him as a pianist as well. He was a great guy with a great sense of humor.
Well,
That's why I really like him.
that's great. Well, it comes through in the music. It's kind of sassy,
Yeah.
and he's got a great contrast between you as the pianist and the orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty nice too. In a lot of piano concertos, the orchestra is sort of just putting down a little background, and the pianist is playing. But with Prokofiev, you're both working together very hard all the time.
It's interesting for every musician. So where I I don't want to say anything bad about Chopin, for example, but Prokofiev, he was really a big master to be interesting for everyone in the whole.
Now, when it comes to practice, tell the truth. How many hours a day do you practice?
Well, as much as I have, I'm not really great in meeting with friends. So usually I just wake up and go to my working place, to my practice room, and well, I can spend all the day there. It's not a punishment, and actually that's the thing I really like to it's a kind of alchemy. You always do something new, something like a science test. So I'm still not tired of practicing.
Good answer. Good answer. We're speaking with Alexander Malofeev. He's coming to Buffalo on March 4th and 5th, and before that for a masterclass for the Community Music School. And he'll be performing at Kleinhans Music Hall with the Buffalo Philharmonic Orchestra, JoAnn Falletta conducting. And again, we're so excited that you're coming. I wanted to ask you this. This is a tough question, but for violinists, for pianists, for ballet dancers, for ice skaters, and probably many other things, Russians are known for excellence. I mean, really, top drawer excellence. Is there, I know being Russian, you probably don't know any other way to think, but is there a certain way of approaching art that makes you guys so good?
Yeah, maybe the education in Russia is a bit harder. But another reason is that the culture of musical education is still very strong from the Soviet Union. So my parents, they didn't think about to give me a super professional education. They just wanted for me, for my sister, the first beginning education, to know the scores, to to play some easy pieces, and then you can choose yourself. And so my sister, she decided to finish that, and I decided to go forward. So maybe there are still now there are less, but there are still a lot of children who study music in Russia. So the percent is really small, of course, of the people who perform on the big stages. But like in Soviet Union, every parents wanted to their children to know music. So to listen to a conservatory, to go to some concert halls, to theater, and I think that another reason is that our great cultural history, like Dostoevsky or Russian painters who are not as famous, but I mean, for example, Malevich or Kandinsky, that's the same inspiration which had Rachmaninoff, Prokofiev, Tchaikovsky. So you can go from Moscow for a couple of hours by car, and you will see the same nature which Rachmaninoff described in his letters, in his concertos, and that really helps me to play Russian music.
You're immersed. You're immersed in it. I also want to ask for folks who are interested in such things. Do you have any hobbies? If you're not playing the piano, what else do you do?
Well, usually if I don't play piano, I go to another piano, from one piano to another. But well, if I have time, I like reading some movies. I like football as well, but I had some issues with my hands when I was a goalkeeper.
Oh, okay.
So now it's not really often thing. Uh, well, the usual hobbies, not anything special. Just reading
Okay. Yeah.
before sleeping.
Do you play video games?
No, really, no.
Not so much.
Well, I prefer to have hobbies which helps me in music, in speaking with people, in understanding the world, the music, the art. So
yeah. Well, if I were there and you wanted to be a soccer goalie with those hands, I would say, no, you are not doing that. And also, no.
I was too brave in my childhood. Too brave.
We all are when we're young. Brave is one word for it. There are others. So no skateboarding, no goaltending.
Yeah.
Well, it's very exciting. Have you met JoAnn Falletta yet at all?
No, never.
Okay.
It will be the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, every person who's ever played a concerto with her, they all say the same thing. You know, she's very helpful. Very nice, and it's true as a person. She gets to know you, and she just takes care of the situation. Very very pleasant to work with, no matter what the instrument. Everybody said that: violinists, pianists, people playing all sorts of instruments.
Yeah,
That's great. So a typical day, what time do you wake up and what do? You have breakfast and you go right to the piano?
Usually I wake up about 9 and have breakfast and go to piano.
Okay.
Yeah, I can stay. Actually, I don't need food, and I don't need anything when I'm alone, and I have only my piano.
Okay.
My program schedule is really amazing, and I'm always late with my program, so
okay.
I try to do faster and faster. Well, actually, I prefer to practice at night, so I go to bed quite late. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I play a lot of concerts, usually I have the biggest energy at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and that's the best time for playing concerts or for practicing for me. The best time of day.
No, that's that's smart. I've heard other people say that if there's something that you have to do at a certain time of day, then practice during that time of day so you get used to that. Just a quick question: Do you still have a teacher or more than one teacher?
Yeah, I have a teacher in my Moscow Conservatory, Pavel Nisarsian, and he is a professor as well in Boston University. So we don't meet each other really often. So I prepare the program myself. I do everything myself, and then I can just play to hear the opinion back to him. For example, Nikolai Lugansky now in the Moscow Conservatory spent pretty lot of time. So I'm happy when I have some musician to perform.
Do you communicate with other musicians electronically, FaceTime or Zoom? Do you collaborate?
Yeah, in Moscow, I can meet anyone in person.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, I travel a lot, so I always meet some new musicians, especially during the summer festivals, or during some gala concerts, and always happy to meet them, to share their opinions about music, about art. Always amazing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for chatting with us, Alexander. And we're so looking forward to your triumphant return to Buffalo. Everyone who was at your piano recital last fall raves about you. And anyone who's gone to YouTube to watch you perform is also raving about you, including me. So I can't wait when you come to Buffalo and perform Prokofiev's Piano Concerto No. 3. 2 opportunities for folks, Friday morning, March 4th, Saturday evening, March 5th, both concerts at Kleinhans Music Hall. And also look in the text attached to this interview, everyone, for opportunities, because Alexander is going to be performing a masterclass when he comes to Buffalo as well. Can't wait. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.
And bye for now.